Okay, we're on to activity C, which is probably the most difficult one just because of Punnett squares. If you couldn't figure out how to fill them in, I'm going to show you how to do that this time. And if you already turned in your video and you're watching this and realized you did yours, turned in your video, I'm sorry, you already turned in your assignment and you're realizing you did your Punnett squares wrong, I will return it to you and you can complete them the correct way. So let's take a look at activity C. So question, how do scientists predict the genotype? So in the previous activity, we learned that the mouse can have 3 different types of genotypes. They could be capital F, capital lowercase, and then lowercase, lowercase. And there's a really easy way that we can predict how our offspring will be produced, and that's called the Punnett square. So scientists use Punnett square models to model different things and to see what offspring could be produced, or what your child could possibly look like. Because traits don't just come out of nowhere. You get them from the parents, and this is how we can predict how likely things are to get certain traits from parents. So the parent genotypes are written across the top, which you see over here in this one. Whoops, clicking the video. So capital F, and then they're also on the side. So we have lowercase f, lowercase f. As shown, the 4 possible offspring genotypes are then filled in. So you can fill in these boxes based on what you have here and what you have here. So the first square is filled in for, so it's a capital F and a lowercase f. How do they do that? I'm going to show you guys this on a screen that we can, let's clear this, clear all drawings. Okay, so Punnett squares, we have our square that I can't draw very well. And it said capital F, and then we had a lowercase f and a lowercase f. The first box, let's change our color here. Let's make it red. So this F is going to get dropped into this box and into this box. This F is going to get dropped into this box and into this box. These ones, I'm going to use a different color now. Let's say, how about green? This one is going to go to this box, and it's going to go all the way across to this box. This one's going to go here and all the way across to here. So what that means is that in, let's see, let's go black. In this box, we get a capital F from up top and a lowercase f from here. In this box, we get a capital F from up top, and we drag this one all the way over and get a lowercase f over here. Drag this F down, and then we drag the one over here to the right, so you get a capital lowercase, and then from the top down, from the left to the right. So all of our offspring's possible genetic combinations would be capital F, lowercase f. And if we're talking about a percentage, that's 100% of the offspring will be capital F, lowercase f, which when we did the very first mouse genetics, the black with the white, this is exactly what we saw. So let's go back and look at our document that we've been working on, and we're going to fill in this square here. So we just use that. What can we fill it in? Remember, you bring the F from the top down, the capital F, and then the one from the, the left over to the right. So we get the lowercase f, and then we do the same thing here. F goes down, F goes across. Capital F, lowercase f, capital F, lowercase f. What are the genotypes, or what are the allele combinations of the offspring? All of the offspring are, what's our capital F, lowercase f. What percentage of the offspring will have black fur, which means which percentage of them have a capital F, which means that they will be black? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 4. So we would say 4 out of 4, or 100% will have black fur. 0% of the offspring will have white fur. Because they have to have two lowercase f's to have white fur, because white is recessive. And if you remember in the other video that I did, we talked about recessive covers up, or dominant covers up recessive. So if I have let's say that my fist is a recessive trait and my open hand is a dominant trait. If I have a dominant and recessive, my open hand covers up my fist, so you cannot see the fist anymore. If I have two dominant traits, what do you see? You see the open hand. But if I have two fists and I put them like this, you can still see my fist, which is how the dominant and recessive traits work. So as it says, experiment, click breed several times. Were your predictions correct? So did you predict the black mouse and the white mouse to have only black children? If so, your answer would be yes, the black mouse and the white mouse have only black children. And when you look at their genotypes, so let's clear. So we're going to put a black mouse and a white mouse in. We said that no matter what, they're going to have genotypes that are capital F, lowercase f, capital F, lowercase, capital F, lowercase, capital F, lowercase, capital F, lowercase, capital F, lowercase. If we hit breed again, they are all the same, and every single one of them is black. All right, now this is where you had to do your own Punnett squares, which those of you who already turned yours in, some of you might need to resubmit them. So it says, use the Punnett squares below to model each parent combination. After filling in each Punnett square, predict the percentages of black and white offspring. So it says parent one is heterozygous. They are capital F, lowercase f, and parent two is also heterozygous, capital F, lowercase f. So let's get our little whiteboard here. Let me clear it from the last one. And let's draw our Punnett square. Squares are kind of hard to draw on the computer like this, but we will try our best. I gotta focus. Okay, so it said parent one is heterozygous. So that means they have a capital F and a lowercase f. If you want to do this on a piece of paper, that's probably a good idea. Parent two is also heterozygous. So they have a capital F and a lowercase f. Every time you bring the f down and you move it across. So we bring, let's go back to red. We're going to bring this one down and down. And we're going to bring this one across and across. So we get, when we bring it down, we put the F here. When we bring this one across, we put the F here. If there's a capital and a lowercase, you always put the capital letter first. So this one is a lowercase we would bring down, and a capital we would bring across. So we put F, capital first, and then our lowercase. Down here, we have a capital that we're going to bring down. So capital F. And we have a lowercase we're going to bring across. Lowercase f. Sorry, this is hard to write. And then we're going to bring a lowercase down and a lowercase across. So we have capital, 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 lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. So if we go back to our document, in this box, we're going to do capital, 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 lowercase, capital, lowercase, and lowercase, lowercase. Then it says predicted percentage of black offspring. So again, remember, if it has a capital F, it's going to be black. So how many of our 4 boxes have a capital F? We have 1, 2, 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4, or what's 3 out of 4? What percentage would that be? Imagine 3/4 out of 4 quarters. How much money would you have if you had 3 quarters? 75%. And we always have a total out of 100. So if there's 75% black, the remaining percentage, we have 1/4 that is not, that would be 25%. All right, let's go ahead and do the second one now. So the second one says heterozygous black, capital lowercase, and homozygous white, lowercase, lowercase. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our whiteboard again, and let's clear our whiteboard. Color to black, okay. We have our table, and we said heterozygous, the first parent is heterozygous, so capital and a lowercase. And the other parent is homozygous, lowercase, lowercase. So bring your capital down, capital, capital. Bring it down to this box also, capital, capital. We're gonna bring our lowercase one down, lowercase, and bring it down. And then we're gonna bring them across. So we have lowercase, no lowercase there. And then we're gonna bring this one across, lowercase, and a lowercase. So now we have capital F lowercase, 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 capital lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. So let's go back to our worksheet. And this one we're gonna fill in capital lowercase, capital lowercase, 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 lowercase. What percentage now of our offspring will be black? If we have a capital, it means that they will be black. So we have 1, 2 boxes that have a capital, 2 out of 4 is 50%. And then the white, 2 out of 4 would be 50%. Now it says experiment. Turn on show statistics and show as approximate percentage for each combination. Breed approximately 500 offspring. Record the results in the table below. So we want parent 1 to be capital F lowercase, parent 2 to be capital F lowercase. So let's see, we have a capital lowercase there. We have a capital lowercase there. We're gonna clear them, put them back up into the holding cage, show statistics, and we want this total number to be 500. We're gonna click breed until that happens. Locked. Getting closer. Almost there. All right. Now we have 383 and 117. Does it show? Oh, show as approximate percentage. Let's do that too. 77% and 23%. You may get slightly different numbers. So black was 77%, white 23%. Then we're gonna go and do the same thing. Capital F, lowercase f, lowercase, lowercase this time. So how do we're gonna keep this parent. We're gonna hold one of those. We're going to clear, oops, I just messed up. I need to make a capital F, lowercase f again. So I hit breed, I'm gonna hold one of these. Clear. So white is always lowercase, lowercase. The black ones you need to check, make sure you have an F, lowercase f. And we're gonna do the same thing, click breed 500 times, or till we get to 500. And this takes a long time. So our numbers this time are 51 and 49, which are very close to 50-50, 51% and 49%. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare these two numbers that we got to what we predicted earlier by doing the Punnett square. So the capital F, lowercase f, which was our first Punnett square, we said we should have about 75% black and 25% white. My data says 77% and 23%. That's pretty darn close. And for this one, we said 50-50, and we have 51 and 49. Again, almost exactly. So how well did the Punnett squares predict the offspring percentages for the parents? We would say the caps lock on. The Punnett squares were almost exactly correct. They were very close to the real numbers. So it says, summarize in your own words, describe what heredity is and how it works in mice. So if we can go back up, all the way back up to the beginning of your worksheet, all the way back up, it says, heredity is the passage of genetic information from parents to offspring. Okay, so in your own words, describe what it is. Heredity is the passage of a trait like, what did we just study? Fur color from parent to offspring in mice. Do you think most traits are inherited the way mouse fur color is? Meaning that like you either have you have the two alleles, and if you have the dominant allele, you're always going to be that physical phenotype. Or do you think that sometimes they might be mixtures? So if your parents are black and white, you might be gray, if you're a mouse. What do you think, how, this one is yours. Do you think that traits are inherited with like the dominant recessive way, or that they can be a mixture of different traits? Or that you might, if your parent mouse is black and your parent mouse is white, you might become black and white spotted. I don't know. This is where you have to think on your own, use your noodle. All right, so that is activity C, and you should be done. When you're done with activity C, make sure you hit turn in and submit your document for Mouse Genetics Gizmo to get your credit. All right, have a good rest of your day. See you guys next week.